Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rad Chat. My name's McNamara, and I'm joined by fellow host Julka-Anderson.
Hi, everyone.
So here we are in Uganda at the Uganda Cancer Institute, and I'm joined by the lovely Catherine. Catherine, would you like to formally introduce yourself, please?
Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Naman. I'm Catherine Nakato, a radiation therapist working at Uganda Cancer Institute.
So, what is it that you do day to day here at the UCI?
At UCI, we see cancer patients. We give them the best treatment we can ever give. We, as a radiation therapist, we treat patients using radiation. We can plan their treatments. We can simulate them. And we also give advice when they get side effects due to radiation.
Brilliant. So, why did you go into the field of radiation therapy?
When I was young, when I was growing up, I grew up in an extended family where many people would come to our family for assistance, mainly medically. Because my father, he's a medical engineer. He used to repair X-ray machines, ultrasounds. So many people thought that he is actually part of the team that is giving treatment. Yeah. So they would come to our home and would be with them. Sometimes I would be asked to escort them to the hospital. And I saw many people were suffering, and there was a need that if any of us goes into medical field, we'll be able to help our people. At the same time, when I used to look at the doctors and the nurses in the hospitals, how they used to treat these patients, I felt like when I grow up, I want to be a medical personnel. It so happened that I started as a radiographer because of the background that my dad had. Yeah. I wanted somehow to be able to fall into his footsteps, but I felt like dealing with machines, just repairing them wasn't enough for me. So I wanted to be in contact with patients. That's why I ended up choosing radiography as my first field. Then eventually I saw I can branch over to radiotherapy, where I can be able to treat patients instead of just imaging. Although I still do a bit of imaging because it's also part of what we have to do, but I'm happy to give a service to the cancer patients, especially at this time in Uganda when we have so many patients and many of them do not have an opportunity to have these services. But since we are the only cancer center, we want to give the best we could, as we pray that as time goes on, it will spread out to the whole country and people will freely be able to receive these services. Thank you.
Your dad sounds very inspiring.
Yes, he was a very inspiring man. Actually, he is. It's just that he retired. He's 82 years now old. But we love him because of that background. Yes.
Do you also help with the brachytherapy side of things here?
Yes, I do. And I have a passion in brachytherapy because I realized at first it was only the males. And brachytherapy, so far, though it's done in other sites, but in Uganda Cancer Institute, it's being done for the cervical cancer patients. I felt there is a need to have a female person in there because the part we are dealing with is a private part. So I didn't want only the males to be around. I wanted these patients to feel comfortable that even ladies can be there and they can be part of the team that is treating them. So I decided, or I talked to the managers and told them that I would want to be a specialist in brachytherapy. Yes.
So, for anyone who's listening, they may not necessarily anticipate just how many patients you treat. And I have to say, my first day in the department was a huge culture shock. We're used to busy departments in the UK. And I obviously have walked into radiotherapy departments before and the waiting rooms are full. But can you just talk us through, what does it look like out there with just the sheer number of patients that you have? How do you kind of walk in every single day to just that sheer number of patients? How do you look after yourself, not put yourself under too much pressure?
We just know that we are the only cancer center in Uganda, so we expect a big number of patients in here. So as the day winds, you just know that you're going to be faced with many patients, but at the same time, you have to keep going to look after yourself so that you can come again and again and keep giving a service to these patients. So as the day starts, you just know you might see more than possibly 50 patients in a day, depending on which machine you're working at. But here in brachytherapy, where I am, we know on a daily, we are able to see around 20 patients if both suits are working. But sometimes when we have one suit working, we may see...
What's a suit? Is that a doctor?
No,
for the
radiotherapy or HDR unit. We have two that are supposed to be operational, but in cases where one is down, you can see like 10 patients a day or even up to 15 at maximum. But this is limited because of the workforce we have. Sometimes the ROs or the radiation oncologists we are supposed to work with, since we work as a team, might be committed in other rooms, either seeing patients or doing planning on the CT sim. So sometimes one of us is missing. So you can't have all the numbers that you'd want to treat on a daily. But we do all we can to see that we work hand in hand as a team, which has helped us a lot so that we are able to cover as many patients as we could at that particular time. Although we cannot finish all the numbers. So we keep booking and we extend the bookings, but that's all we can do at the moment.
So when you say you treat 50 patients individually, it's usually a block of time, isn't it? Because when I was working on one of the Linacs, there was 168 patients scheduled for one day. That just absolutely blew my mind. It's incredible the number of patients that you're treating, like absolutely incredible. What time do a lot of the staff get here in the morning, and what time do they work until?
Oh, our staff start at around 4 a.m. in the morning. The first people who come in the morning, switch on the machines, do the QA, and then work starts. And it ends at around 10 in the night. But we work sometimes in shifts. Some group will come in the morning. By around 11 or midday, they are off. Others come in around 8 a.m. in the morning. Then we keep shifting, and also rotating on different machines so that you don't get so tired with working in one place. So if this month or after 3 months you're at a LINAC treating, next month you might be in CT simulation. Another one would be in CT planning. Although we also advocate for people to specialize, super specialize, so that we have those who would be in planning entirely. But at the moment, because we are few and the workload is so much, we need to keep task shifting so that people do not get so bored as they do work, but they are able to be all round. In case one of us is not there, you can always go in and stand in, so that you cap up the numbers and we are able to give a service at all times.
It's a large responsibility on all of you RTTs, isn't it? To be here, be present, don't be sick, work.
Yeah, we want to, but even when we get sick, because sometimes our bodies also give way and we are human beings, we are also able to get sick. And also sometimes it might not be exactly you, but you have a patient, a relative who needs your service, or a child, because some of us are family members. We have families. You might have one of your family members who is sick and you need to attend to them. You might not be able to be at work at that time. But in case you're not able to be at work, work doesn't come to a standstill, simply because we are all oriented in all areas. So it's for a radiation therapist, you're able to work in any room at any one time, as long as there is need in that room.
Okay, so Catherine, we always finish with top tips. What top tips would you want anyone out there listening to know about the Uganda Cancer Institute, or anyone who maybe is considering a career as an RTT in the future?
I would like to encourage people who are out there to send more people into this profession, all those who want to look after patients, because at one point all of us have to fall sick, or we might have a relative or a friend who might be sick. We still need more people in this profession. It's a very good profession. It's a profession that gives hope to the needy, the people who are suffering. When you're doing radiotherapy, where you treat cancer patients, these people get hope. These people have a lot of pain, and they are people who are supposed to be there to manage their pain. So we call upon all those who are interested in looking after patients, who have a passion to look after these patients, to join this profession. It's a very good profession that gives hope to our patients, to give them a better quality of life as well, and also to prolong their life. Because if you know a cancer patient who doesn't get treatment as soon as possible, the chances of them living longer and accomplishing whatever they want to accomplish in life, they cannot do it. But with our hope, with your hope, the people who are out there in the world, we can make these patients, we can give them a smile on their faces and give them a reason to live longer than they should have.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.